the participants. We welcome you all for today's online session on opportunities to collaborate with RuTAG IIT Bombay. We have Professor Anand Rao with us, who is the Regional Coordinator of Unnat Abhiyan from IIT Bombay and heads the Center for Technologies Alternatives for Rural Areas, also known as CTARA. Participants, we welcome you all for today's online session on opportunities to collaborate with RuTAG IIT Bombay. We have Professor Anand Rao with us, who is the Regional Coordinator of Unnat Abhiyan from IIT Bombay and heads the Center for Technologies Alternatives for Rural Areas, also known as CTARA. Participants, we welcome you all for today's online session. So sorry, I think there was a YouTube channel which went live. Sorry for that. Yeah. So I would like to request Professor Rao to give the opening remarks for the session. Professor Rao, if you could take over from here.
I think there is still some echo and noise.
Yes, sir. I will just
sort out the issue.
So we would like to request if you all could mute your mic. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Namaskar. So on behalf of CTARA, that is Center for Technology Alternatives for Rural Areas at IIT Bombay, the Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, the Regional Coordinating Institute of Western Maharashtra and Goa and Dadra Nagar Haveli, as well as on behalf of RuTAG, that is Rural Technology Action Group, I would like to welcome all of you because I belong to all these three entities here at IIT Bombay. So the idea of this session today that we have planned is that all the UBA participating institutes in our region, we wanted them to get familiarized with the work that RuTAG is doing. RuTAG is a project under the, there are several RuTAG chapters in the country. It is supported by the PSA's office in New Delhi. And the mandate for RuTAG is to develop technology solutions for the informal sector, especially the governmental and non-governmental agencies, where we try to see how productivities can be increased and the drudgery can be tackled. So the kind of interventions that have been successful in the field over the period of time since RuTAG has been in existence in IIT Bombay. So we'll get an idea in terms of what kind of projects can be undertaken in the rural areas. That is one thing, as well as there are possibilities of dissemination of this existing solution set. And we would like to see whether it is going to be relevant in the areas that each of you is working independently throughout Maharashtra and western part of the country. So this was the kind of a basic motivation to organize this session, because we see that there is a lot of synergy how UBA and RuTAG can work together. So that's why CTARA is providing this platform to bring everyone together. So I'm glad that finally we could come up with this session, and thanks all of you for joining. Today with me, I also have my colleague, Professor Amit Arora, who has been also actively involved in RuTAG activities and also worked on several technology development solutions. So he's also with us, so he may be able to also throw some light on some of these projects. And the project manager of RuTAG, Dr. Rupali Khanolkar, she will be basically giving detailed insights into the technologies that we have worked so far. And some of them have been disseminated not only in Maharashtra, but very far away regions within the India, that is in the northeastern region as well. So this is the kind of a background of the session today. I would like to welcome all of you. I'm happy to say that actually, although this is the program initiated by the RCI of IIT Bombay, but we are happy that two other regions within Maharashtra under UBA, that is the Marathwada region, which is headed by Dr. Patil from the Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, and Dr. Kumbhar, who is at the Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University. So both of them have also agreed to join this session. So we can have further dissemination of this knowledge. And if any of these solutions are relevant for their regions, they can also get in touch with RuTAG. So that's why we have invited them as well for this session. So without further delay, I'll hand it over back to Purnamasi to take it ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for briefing us on the agenda for today's session. We now have Dr. Rupali, who has been working as a project manager in RuTAG CTARA since 2014. She completed her PhD in organization.
Purnamasi, Professor Amit would like to say a few words. After that, maybe I can talk.
Okay, sure. So we would like to welcome Professor Amit. If you could brief us on RuTAG.
Good afternoon. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. So I think I would not take away the responsibility that was given to Dr. Rupali to explain the details of RuTAG. I think she will continue to do that. I'm here, just to appreciate the linkage, the formal linkage we are talking about, interaction, between CTARA, RuTAG, UBA, different streams of UBA. So what I can say here is to all the audience members here is that I have been involved in RuTAG since 2014 when I think Dr. Rupali also joined. I was co-PI and PI was Professor Rao, Professor Anand Rao. So we started this journey back in 2014 and we have seen how RuTAG has grown in last 8 years. So I was also involved as a PI in several projects. When time, right time arrives, we can talk about those projects as well. Just to name a few, we worked on, for example, Chironji decortication machine, kokum oil extraction machine, cashew apple processing, improvement of that, onion storage structure. So things like, so there are several projects that we have worked on. And some of them are actually have gone to field as we speak, and some of them are ready for getting into the field. More details we can discuss later, but I'm very happy to be a part of this gathering, and we'll look forward to see more interaction in this. Thank you. So over to Dr. Rupali.
Dr. Rupali?
Yeah, should I start or you want to say something?
No, nothing much. We just wanted you to so are you able to, yeah, please, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, should I, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah, can you make it full screen?
This is PDF.
Try Control L.
Yeah, one minute. I'll increase the percentage maybe. Control L.
Do you want me to okay, yeah,
this is better.
This is better?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to introduce myself. I'm Rupali Khanolkar, project manager of RuTAG, Rural Technology Action Group. And Professor Amit stated, myself, Professor Amit Arora and Professor Anand Rao, we all three started our journey with RuTAG almost together since year 2014. Prior to that, there was another group, another team who was associated with RuTAG, and in IIT Bombay, RuTAG is active since year 2010. Now, I was told that there are some participants in today's workshop who are not very much familiar with RuTAG. So I will briefly touch upon introduction to RuTAG. But otherwise, UBA, people who have been associated with UBA over a long period of time are well versed with the concept of RuTAG. But RuTAG, the full form is Rural Technology Action Group, is a mechanism conceptualized by the Office of PSA to the Government of India. And we have 8 RuTAG centers across the country in various IITs. And RuTAG IIT Bombay is one of them, which was established in year 2010. And our focal area, I mean, as per the mandate of RuTAG, is restricted to Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Goa. In IIT Bombay, RuTAG is housed in CTARA, which is an independent academic unit. And since CTARA's interest is also rural development and RuTAG's interest is development of rural technologies, there is a whole lot of synergy. And again, UBA also has overlapping interests. So there is this synergy that we are trying to explore during today's workshop. Yeah, so this is how the synergizing mechanism in the rural context operates in IIT Bombay. So there is this Office of PSA, CTARA, other RuTAG centers, various NGOs who are our eyes and ears in field. There are government institutes which are funded, and they are also into technology development, also in technology dissemination. And then we have ecosystem in IIT Bombay, so faculty members, students, and then various projects like UBA, UMA, CPS, etc., etc. Sign is there for encouraging startups. So the whole mechanism works in synergy. And this is our RuTAG team. Professor Agnihotri, he is the PI. Professor Anand Rao is the head CTARA, co-PI. Then myself, Gopal Mahajan is a PRA, and Mr. Manjunatha. Yeah, so we develop, we focus on developing technology, and we conduct, we have various mechanisms of identifying the gap areas for developing technology. I mean, there has to be a basis for developing rural technologies. So we have things like site visits, students and faculty of CTARA who go in field, they also bring valuable information. We have NGO workshops, we have workshops like this. So various communication channels are used basically for sourcing information from field, from rural areas, and we identify gap areas. I mean, what is the required or what is the need in specific rural areas for technology development. And the technologies focus on, reduction of drudgery or livelihood, enhancement of people, etc. So one example here in photograph that you are seeing is our HIRDA decortication machine. So we have developed the technology for decortication of HIRDA, and how we used, methodology. So we identified problem statement that required the innovative solution. Then we provided support to faculty member for prototype development, providing a platform for interaction among faculty, students, and developers, and then interacting with rural ecosystem. So that completes, step-by-step process of technology development. So this is the same thing, basically process of developing rural technology. Again, I think it is more or less repetition of what I said earlier. Problem identification happens, followed by literature review. You find if somebody has worked on development of this technology. If yes, approach that government institute, or even if it is a private institute, study that technology, customization, identify gap area. I mean, specifically in our context, what kind of technology is required. Then development of technology, and then the technology, we conduct trials in field, and then it goes through various iteration. I mean, 2 or 3 iterations are required for completely developed technology. And then finally, once the technology is ready, we are into the deployment and scaling or dissemination phase. So the technologies that I am going to present today are, in this last phase, that is development and scaling. Technologies are fully developed, they are ready for dissemination, and we are looking for opportunities for dissemination of technology, which is now the newly defined focal area of RuTAG at IIT Bombay. Yeah, so this basically shows various sectors of our project. So we have technologies in fishery, we have design technologies, we have post-harvest technologies, then we have assistive technologies like assisting down cow or injured cow or cattle. Then we have technologies related to water. So up to here, there was this introduction to RuTAG, and from here onwards, I am going to talk about various technologies that we have readily available for dissemination. So the request to you is, in your respective areas or regions, if you feel that this technology is relevant or is suitable, you may take a note of it, because we are going to circulate a feedback form, and in that you are requested to share your feedback with respect to suitability or relevance of the technology in your respective area. The first technology I'm going to talk about is floating fish cages for inland aquaculture. This is the oldest and most successful technology. As the picture shows, this is a cage structure. See, it is the picture down. This is like a cage which is submerged underwater. So what we see on top are the walkways on which we can walk, and underneath there is this cage-like structure, okay, which is made of net, and this structure is used for growing fish fries, that is the jira size fish seeds, are grown to the size of fingerlings, that is from 15 millimeters to 125 millimeters, up to fingerling size, and then the fingerlings are released in open water. So this is the technology which was, it was inspired through our interaction with the tribals in Dimbhe Dam area in Pune district, where 13 villages were submerged, and due to construction of Dimbhe Dam, and at the backwater, the tribals were interested in doing fishery. The technology provided to them by the Fishery Institute, that is Central Institute of Fisheries Education, CFA, was technologically not up to the mark. It was made of jungle wood and sal wood, and there were several problems, as you can see here: sagging of walkways and corrosion of the connectors and the structural elements which were used for making the fish cages. So Professor Siddharth Ghosh from IIT Bombay, he is a civil engineer, and he basically took up the challenge of designing a robust structure for developing fish, that is floating fish cages for inland aquaculture. So that is how this technology was conceptualized. So the structure is made of GI pipes, and we have two versions. First version is a battery of 4 fish cages. Each cage is consisting of 3 meter by 3 meter by 3 meter. And costing around 6 lakhs. I think it has gone to 6,50,000 by now. And the second version is single cage, which is of size 6 meter by 4 meter by 4 meter, and it costs around 2,75,000. Currently, work is ongoing for design improvisation of the second version. Most beneficiaries are interested in the second version for 2 reasons. One is the cost is low. Second is there is subsidy available from the government, fisheries department, for purchase of this particular design. So and thirdly, this, since there is same volume available in a single fish cage, what happens is one can grow table size fish of some species in this particular fish cage. So salient features are the fish cages are floating with help of air sealed drums. They are safe and robust, easy to assemble. Assembly is done at the shore, and we have very good quality walkways, which make it, as you can see, our students are standing in one corner. So up to 30 people can stand in each corner. So they are very, very stable. The structure will not topple, and very, very easy and comfortable. So even women in Bombay area, they are able to work on these fish cages without any problem. And they are able to start, they have been able to start their own enterprise. Yeah, so some pictures during assembly at our northeast, what Professor Unnat was telling. So we have disseminated fish cages through grants from Government of Maharashtra as well as through Ministry of Donor under Steiner Initiative. So that is the work done by us. Second technology I'll be talking about is HIRDA decortication machine. Again, one of our successful technology. So since most of you are from Maharashtra and Goa, I'm sure you are familiar with the HIRDA as a medicinal fruit. HIRDA grows in large quantity in Pune region as well as in Vidarbha and some other regions in Maharashtra, as well as in North, Uttarakhand and various other states of India. And of course in South and Southeast Asia also some countries they have abundance. So this is how the HIRDA fruit looks like. It is a medicinal fruit. HIRDA, Harad or Haritaki, these are common names, and used for making the most famous preparation, Ayurvedic preparation using the HIRDA fruit is Triphala Churna, with which all of you would be familiar. So what Ayurvedic practitioners are interested is the outer cover of the HIRDA fruit, that is the husk, and the seed inside is of not much use for the Ayurvedic practitioners. So what is done is HIRDA is dried, then the outer husk is separated from seed. This is called as decortication, and the decorticated HIRDA is dried and powdered, and powder of HIRDA, Beheda and Amla are mixed together in certain proportion, and that is sold as Triphala Churna. So this is how our HIRDA decortication machine looks like. It is a user-friendly machine, versatile, and it can decorticate something like around 30 to 40 kg HIRDA per hour. At present, again, this is slightly outdated. The vendor has, due to increase in price of steel, etc., the cost of HIRDA machine is going to be now around 60 to 65,000 rupees per machine. Yeah. So we have disseminated more than 12 machines in tribal areas of Pune district, and then now we are looking forward to dissemination of HIRDA machines in other areas of our country or even outside our country. The next technology I'll be talking about is water tanks, surface water tanks, which are made using natural fiber. As you can see the picture. So we are associated with NGO Jalavardhini, and they have developed a new technology for construction of surface water tanks, such as natural fibers surface water tanks using natural fibers such as coconut, banana, flax, hemp, etc. And so the fabric woven out of natural fibers is used as a reinforcement material in place of steel. And that basically makes the technology green technology, as well as the cost comes down. And third important thing is local masons can be trained, so you don't need any expertise for construction of these tanks. So it is a completely win-win situation from all perspectives. So we have tested up to 50,000 liters capacity tanks. However, most commonly constructed tanks are of size of 10,000 liters capacity. And we do undertake training of local masons who can be trained and who can facilitate, construction of these natural fiber water tanks. These are some photographs. We have constructed water tanks with help of the NGO at Thane, Raigad, Ratnagiri, Palghar, Sindhudurg. Okay. The next technology that I would like to talk about is Chironji decortication machine. Chironji in Marathi, it is called as Charoi. Okay, so Charoi is a seed of a fruit, okay, which grows again in Nagpur area, Vidarbha, as well as in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, etc. So it's a red colored fruit which is harvested by tribals. The fruit does not have much fleshy pericarp. So inside is a nut, and it is a hard nut which has a woody outer covering, and inside there is seed, what we commonly call as saroi, which is a oil seed. Okay, so our project was regarding separation of this seed. Now, just opposite of HIRDA, in HIRDA decortication, we were interested in outer cover. Here, we are interested in the seed inside. So, breaking open of the nuts and procuring the chirunji seeds, which are extremely valuable, was the whole idea of doing this project. So, this is the chirunji decortication machine. Okay, this machine again is safe to operate, etc. And around 30% decortication is possible using this machine. It gives minimum breakage of the seeds, and the machine is costing around 1,25,000. We have disseminated 2 machines in Madhya Pradesh, and 2 machines we have given in Nandurbar district. Okay, apart from that, there are several other areas like Chhattisgarh, and in Maharashtra itself, there are areas like Chandrapur and Gadchiroli where Chirunji is available. There are various potential areas, but as of now, these are the 2 locations where we have disseminated this machine. So these are the local people in Madhya Pradesh with the machine. The next technology that I would like to talk about is portable cow lift. So, downer cow syndrome is a syndrome which affects the pre-calving and post-calving cows. What happens is the animal suffers from weak leg muscle due to calcium deficiency, and it is unable to get up. As we can see here in photo, the cow is sitting. So, with help of manual operation or some kind of assistive mechanism is required to make or facilitate the cow to stand on its feet. Okay. And this is not only required for making it comfortable, but also for the medical treatment. So for that, we have designed this lift. And instead of 4 to 5 people that were required to support the cow and making it stand, here, with just 2 or 3 people, with help of chain pulley and the structure which we can see in the picture, we are able to support the cow and it is able to stand on its own. So this is very safe, comfortable and strong support to animal. Cost again has gone up from 30,000 to something like around 45,000. And we have done trials in Karnataka as well as in Maharashtra. One of the engineering colleges in Nasik has also done some work with us, and they have conducted trials and they have done some modification, and we are at fag end of the project. In next couple of months we will be closing the project. So this technology is ready for dissemination. Okay, the next interesting technology that we have is mobile subsea. Here I would like to say that since RuTAG and CTARA work in synergy, one of the past students of CTARA rather 3 past students of CTARA have initiated a startup, and they are into fabrication and dissemination of rural technology. And yes, so through collaboration with this startup, which is called as RuTAG, some technologies which are available for dissemination are one of them is this mobile subsea cooler. So what happens is, I don't need to explain the burning issue of post-harvest losses, especially vegetables. The farmers are not able to sell and no proper storage facility. So, lots of wastage of post-harvest losses of vegetables and other crops is the issue. So we have this subsea cooler which is suitable for farmers with small land holding, less than 0.5 acres of plot or orchard. One question was asked to me, if it is larger plot size, then what to add. So this is a modular thing. So you can add multiple devices. The salient feature of this technology is you can keep vegetables fresh for around 4 to 5 days without any energy inputs. And it has a storage capacity of 100 kg for leafy vegetable and 125 kg for other green vegetable. Not much water is also required, only 20 liter of water, that is around 1 bucket per day. And it can also be used as a ripening chamber for fruit. So various features are there, and it is costing around 50,000 rupees. More than 450 sabji coolers have been disseminated Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Meghalaya, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, and the technology has been accepted and really appreciated by the farmers. Yeah, there was some study conducted, and it was found that around 30% net increase in the selling price of their product can be achieved by minimizing the losses. Okay, the next technology is Treadle Pump. This is again related to water. So irrigation is a challenge and it is a costly affair because available technologies which are operating using diesel or electrical pumps are expensive, and also there is high cost associated with electricity bill. So manual treadle pump can be the solution, again keeping in mind small land holding, small farmers. So it's a manual powered water lifting device. So no electricity or any other power is required. Mechanical power by self can be used. No recurring cost, and it is very low cost, 7,000 rupees. Okay, the section depth is 23 feet, delivery height 35 feet, total head 58 feet, and horizontal distance that it can cover is 300 feet. So basically shallow water body which are less than 23 feet are ideal for suction of water. Again, a good amount of dissemination in Northeast, Odisha, Maharashtra has been done. More than 1,300 treadle pumps have been sold. And some pictures of treadle pump in use can be seen here. Okay. Then another technology again by RuTAG is this peak raksha. So attacked by wild animals like you can see wild boars as well as wild elephants and so many other animals is very common, especially in areas where forests are close by. So it has a 3-layer defense system. It consists of peak rakshak light, peak rakshak sound system, and artificial scarecrow. Cost is 22,000 rupees per acre. So it reduces the patrolling cost as well as the damage to the crop is also reduced. So yield becomes higher. So this is how it looks. There is a scarecrow, light, sound system, and there is this solar intervention. So you don't have to really spend on the electricity. Then the next one is Jalkund, which is again similar to the natural fiber water tank that we saw. Here, the only difference is this plastic sheet or something of that kind is used. Okay, for construction of very small size ponds, capacity around 7,000 liters, and the construction cost is also very low, rupees 4,500. So this becomes a very low cost intervention for small land holding farmers. For example, up to 300 vegetable plants or 15 horticultural plants like cashew, something of that kind. If it is there, you can just construct one small farm pond or kshetra, as we call it, and that can become very good support for the farmer. It can also be used for kharif crops like rice, etc. if you want to grow during the winter. These are some of the pictures. Jalakunda is also good in hilly and slopy area. Okay, and this has been tested in Northeast especially, and it was very, very useful. This is a picture of two ladies in Odisha where it was used. So till this point, we were discussing the technologies which are disseminated through RuPAG, which is a starter. And now we are again back to the technologies developed under IIT Bombay banner through Professor Pradeep Kalbar. He has one technology and we are developing it through RuTAG, is this sustainable water supply system with hydraulic insulating structure. So in rural area, this intermittent water supply is a big challenge, and due to the intermittent water supply, the people or consumer are unsure of the next supply hours. So they try to fetch as much water as possible, and therefore unequal water distribution issue is faced because of the pressure management throughout the pipeline is a very, very difficult thing. So shaft-based technology addresses this problem. Basically, the pressure is distributed evenly through the shaft-based technology. This is how it looks. Instead of construction of water tank outside the village or at a faraway place, there is this shaft which Professor Kalbar says can be constructed even in the center of the village or in the central point in the village. And with help of this shaft, water can be distributed evenly. So objectives are provision of drinking water to rural communities with sustainable approach, improve water supply pressure, and enabling better zoning of service area for management. So this is very, very useful for places where intermittent water supply is prevalent, and this technology is in use in Palghar already in Safari. The cost is around 10 lakhs. So these are 10 technologies which I have presented, and they are available for dissemination. Now, with respect to the technologies, if you have any specific questions or any other questions, I am open for discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Rupali, for taking us through the journey of RuTAG and its technologies in detail. The information which you have shared with us is very useful, and I'm sure that the PIs would be benefited immensely by implementing the technology solutions in their adopted villages. We would now have 15 minutes of Q&A session, for which we invite our PIs to seek clarity on their questions, requesting everyone to put your questions briefly and clearly so that everyone may get an opportunity to ask. Please unmute your mic if you have any queries, and you can even
either you can raise your hand if you have a question, or you can put it in the chat box.
Chat box as well.
So there is a question from Prem Kumar Joshi. Can we use Peak Rakshak for monkeys?
I am not 100% sure, but to the best of my knowledge, for monkeys, it is not extremely successful. But I am noting down this question. I will check with the team, and we can get back to you.
Okay. It would be helpful if you can also provide contact information for the RuCard team,
Okay.
so that participants can directly get in touch with them also.
Right, right, sure. So we can share it through our media team.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
or you can put it in the chat box here so that people can note down the contact information. I mean, it will become faster right now.
Okay.
So there is another question from Sridhar sir. How to get support from government agencies to implement STB plant?
This question is rather difficult to answer because we don't have a readily available tie-up or something.
Dr. Sridhar, I mean, can you elaborate what do you mean by setting up STP plant?
Well, actually, I have designed one chemical treatment which is very suitable for the treatment purpose of this wastewater. And already I have set up one plant in RIT college, which is working very effectively. And that gives us completely potable water as an outlet after treatment. And I just want to need the government support so as to implement such kind of treatment plant in villages, because for the implementation of any kind of STP projects, we need some standard guidelines which are already given in a CPHU manual and that we need to follow.
Yeah.
And for that purpose. Yes, sir.
I think, I mean, probably it would be mainly to make all the Gram Panchayats or municipal corporations aware of this technology. I think that is the main challenge. If they know this option and if it is certified, I think they can consider this option.
Actually, I talked with up to the collector office through ZP.
Okay.
They told me that they are ready to implement such kind of STP because that is giving us a very good type of outcomes.
Okay.
But still, there is a need of some kind of permission from MJP as well as from CPHU manual, because MJP is following the rules and regulations from this CPHU, which was already given. So, is there any kind of things? I have already applied for patents for that one, and that is in the process. It's not yet completed.
Okay, I would suggest that you get in touch with Professor Agnihotri. He can probably advise you in terms of how to proceed on this.
So
Yes,
we
sir,
don't have a
definitely.
readily available model for that.
Yeah, it has been already implemented, as he says, on the RIT
Yeah.
campus. So there is a demonstration already there, right? The technology has.
Yes, sir.
So,
Shared contact number of RuTAG, Mr. Vikas Jha in the chat. So those who are interested in the RuTAG technology, which is mobile subdicular, heat rakshak, Jalukunda, and Treadle Pump, can contact him directly for more.
Okay, okay, no problem. I'll share my number. Thank you.
so we have another question from Prem Kumar Joshi, sir. Can you suggest any good technology for water purification in village? Now they are using boring water.
So yeah, there is a technology which is called as Tech. I did not present it because it is not developed under IIT Bombay, but there is a startup of IIT Bombay alumnus, and this technology is called as Tech. It is again a low-cost technology costing ₹8,000, and I can connect you with Mr. Anjan, and he can give you the technology. I can share those slides also. Let us finish the question answer, and towards the end of the session, maybe I can give you more information.
Yes.
Yeah, I will give you his contact.
Sure.
There is a question on Sarodi or
Yes, sir.
Chironji decortication.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
I can see.
Hello, ma'am. My question is, can we use that IRDA decortication machine or Sarodi machine to decorticate cashew nut?
No, I don't think so.
No,
They are very different entities, and cashew is a very, I mean, the oil is very corrosive and harmful to skin, etc. So there are different issues.
Yeah. And we have not done any trials. We cannot see.
Okay, thank you.
And there is another question from Yogesh Shinde, sir. How to approach if we want to implement any one of the technology in nearby villages? Sir, could you please unmute your mic and can talk in detail about the question that you have just mentioned?
Yeah, actually, I want to ask that whatever the list ma'am has presented. I was asking about particularly for portable mobile subjicular. Okay, so in our nearby villages there are many farmers there that they are having
So you can tell which area you work in so that there is a better.
Pandharpur, Solapur district.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to ask that if I want to get this, I want to use this technology in our nearby villages so that farmers can get benefit, but how to approach to get this technology? So is there any process that I should follow to get this technology in our college and that we can implement in nearby villages?
It's very possible. I mean, one of the RuCAT members is actually located in Solapur itself, Sharayu Kulkarni.
Okay, so
provide a contact number and then I think you can.
Yes, sir. It will be better for me. Okay.
So yeah, right away I can. What I can do is I can share. I'm just taking notes, so I will share you Kulkarni's contact number also with you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, so there is one question from Kiran Chaudhary, ma'am. What is the procedure to implement digital school management system in government schools?
School management.
I don't think we have ventured into that area. Sorry about it.
I think that's out of syllabus question.
Okay. And moving further, one Sushopti ma'am has asked about water purification. If we have any technology for water purification. Ma'am, Sushopti ma'am, could you please unmute your mic?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, in our villages also. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
In our villages,
this is near Panvel, Nere, and you can say that Wakadi, all these villages, they are generally using this not purified water. Tap waters are also not available. Boring water they are using. So we can apply there this water purification systems.
But have you tested the water in the first place? I mean, what is the problem with the water?
When we first surveyed, that time we just came to know about their water, raw water they are using. So definitely we will go if we will get some ideas or insights on this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for purification solution, first you should find out what is the current water quality that they're using, and is there any issue? Because it might be possible that the water quality is good enough for consumption.
Okay.
So if anybody has any other question, please unmute your mic, or you can write your questions in the chat box as well.
Sir, actually we already did a survey in our village, means Roha. We have adopted 5 villages. So every person in house are affected with the kidney stone. They are using the this boring water. So that is what we are asking for. The
high salinity. Have you tested the water?
Yes, sir, we have tested. So it's not good, means everybody is affected with kidney stone. So it's very difficult. Means that is why we want to implement the water purification at least for 200 liters per day minimum.
The term water purification is very vague. It means microbial. So the technology that I am talking about is for only controlling the microbial content.
No, I think looking at this problem, probably there is high salinity. That means we need something like a reverse osmosis. RO is a very standard solution.
Currently, will be not used.
Yeah. So has anybody tried using RO in that region?
So we have installed RO, but the cleaning and continuous it will jam the pre-filter, and you know that UV is not working properly. Means I have to replace the candle after 15 days. So it is not worth to install the RO.
So the source is bore or open well?
Bore, because they are their terrain is like hilly area, so they don't have any water source, not a well. So they just have a boring, 2 borings, and with the help of that 2 borings, they are using the drinking water. So no source, no other source.
Probably some kind of a pre-treatment would be required before it is sent to this RO unit. I mean, the way you are describing, there is a lot of clogging or fouling that is happening.
Filtration.
Yes.
So some combination of maybe soil biofilter and then it is as a pre-treatment and then further polishing using RO may be tried out.
If you can help us, it will be great, sir.
In some places, I mean, they have also tried out using solar stills for low-cost solution. In fact, in the Raigad district itself. So we'll try to connect. I think Samir Pendharkar in CTARA, who is a PhD student,
Okay, sir.
was working. So we'll try to connect you.
Yeah,
If
yes.
if I may join, sir, the discussion.
Yeah.
At MGM, and that is Mahatma Gandhi Mission Medical College and Hospital, we have a water treatment plant installed, which is low cost, firstly, and it is not RO. It, like sir mentioned, membrane filtration and along with charcoal, etc. So, sir, if you like to visit, you can visit our plant, and if a cue or if an idea or if any help can be given from our side, we can always help you with that, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Can you share your number, madam? So I will call you and visit the
Yes.
college.
So which villages are we talking about exactly, sir?
Surgad, madam. It is in Roha Taluka.
Roha, is it?
Raigad, yeah.
Roha, Raigad? Yes, right.
Yeah.
Sir, so we are in the same region. So I think my number is available in the group. My name is Dr. Ashlesha Taude.
Okay, madam.
I will share your number with sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Right.
And ma'am, you can ask your query as well, as you have unmute your mic now.
Yes, madam, I really, I had gone through actually the RuTAG projects before as well. So this Jalkund project, I did not, I didn't read before. So I was, like you mentioned, this is especially for tribal and hilly region.
It has been tested for in hilly region.
Yes, ma'am. So how much is the life of this Jalkund? Is it short-term project? How is it, ma'am?
Yeah, so it will not be very long term. The longevity of this particular structure has not been, there has not been any scientific study that we have conducted. But yes, for around 4 to 5 years, it should be good.
Right, ma'am. And after that, there is this, basically it is dug. The ground is dug and it is covered with a sheet, and the water is collected, ma'am.
Yeah.
So once the life is over, we generally dispose of the.
I think after 4 to 5 years also there is possibility of some kind of repair in case of leakage or something, and it can continue. It is not as if that you have to discard something.
Right, ma'am. Right. Thank you so much.
As such, it is a low cost thing, and for repair and maintenance also the cost, the expense will not be very high.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So do we have any other query from any of our participants?
Hello.
Yes, Yogesh.
With respect to my previous question, how I can get that contact number of Mr. Sharif Kulkarni?
Sir, we will share it with you via mail, or ma'am, if it is possible.
I will, yeah, give me 2 minutes. I will right now put it in the chat itself.
Sir, in the chat.
Getting it from my phone.
So thanks a lot for all the questions. And I think this is not like one time. It was just to introduce all the PIs under UBA to the TAG team. And I'm sure some kind of a future collaboration can emerge out of this initiation. Because there is a lot of synergy possible in terms of what RuTAG is doing and what UBA is expected to do. And that's where we thought that this basic introduction is necessary, both in terms of disseminating the existing set of solutions that RuTAG has, as well as in your regions, in your villages, if you tend to identify certain need for certain technology intervention, then please do communicate that to RuTAG. And then we can also try to see whether some kind of a solution can be arrived at. And it's, I mean, as I mentioned, RuTAG is not only at IIT Bombay, but there are 7 or 8 RuTAG chapters across different IITs. So even if it is not at RuTAG IIT Bombay, but if somewhere else the solution is also available, that can be also probably made available for dissemination. So we can try to see how ultimately, rather than reinventing the wheel, whatever solutions are already existing and tried out, they can benefit and reach to more and more people. That is the whole idea behind this dissemination.
I have shared contact number of Sharif Kulkarni in the chat box. And people with interest in specific technology and potential for dissemination in your region can please give feedback form as well as specific email with details. So case-to-case basis, we can maybe discuss with them because we have certain projects and certain locations maybe we can help in dissemination, and in certain places we may not be able to. So, if we may not be able to give a very general answer, but on case-to-case basis, definitely we will be able to. You can write to Purnimasi or Prathamesh, and maybe we can get that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and please do look out the RuTAG website. I mean, there might be
yes, sir. We will share the link.
And then further details available. Like there are few more in pipeline or almost ready. Like for example, solar dryer for vegetable drying. I mean, one approach is to have subsecooler where you have a temporary storage of these vegetables, which can get you better price in the market for the farmers. But you can also, there can be some self-help groups who can procure these vegetables in bulk. Or they may be vegetable producers themselves, and they can convert it into dried products, which may have its own niche market. So that kind of intervention is also possible.
So should we?
We have used our stipulated time. Unless there are any further questions or comments, maybe we can close because everyone has further engagements.
So, do we have any other questions from the participants, or we can proceed for the vote of thanks? Okay. So before we wrap up, on the screen, you can see a feedback link, which we have also shared on the chat box. I would request you to share your feedback on the session through the link share, which will help us know your views on the session as well as whether you would want to further collaborate with RuTAG in the future. Now, it's a pride privilege to extend a vote of thanks on behalf of UBA team, CTARA IIT Bombay. First, we would like to thank Professor Anand Rao for coming up with this idea of collaboration between RuTAG and UBA. We are further grateful to Dr. Rupali and Professor Amit Arora and also Professor Satish Agnihotri sir for introducing us to the technologies that RuTAG CTARA has developed and possible collaborations with the UBA PIs. We would also like to thank Dr. T.R. Patil, RCI coordinator from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar University, Aurangabad, and Dr. Manish from Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, along with the respective team members for being part of this session. Finally, we would like to thank the PIs for taking part in this informative session. We are hopeful that all the PIs would have been benefited from it, and we would look forward to collaborating with RuTAG in the future. Based on your responses in the feedback form, we can further plan detailed session with the RuTAG team. If you have any queries regarding this session or would want to know more about RuTAG, please feel free to mail us. I hope you all can access the feedback link in the chat box.
Yeah, it has been posted a couple of times. Mr. Sanjay, I hope you receive it now. So thank you, everyone. So the feedback link is basically to understand which of these, any of these technology solutions you would be interested in further information or in terms of dissemination potential in your villages. So please do provide the feedback about this session.
Yeah, and we will circulate this link through email as well. So if any of you will miss it, so you can use that link through email. You can access that link.
Maybe in that you can also include the contact information that we have shared for the RuTAG
yes, sir.
people.
Yes, sir. We will share the link of RuTAG
as well as RuCard people also.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Madam, can you please?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Can you please share the recording, because I just joined 5 minutes back.
Okay.
Because I was in other
Yeah,
meetings.
sir. We will share the recording link with you via mail.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for joining. And then I think we can formally close now. We have exhausted the 1 hour that we had.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.